I figured I'd show y'all what I did over the weekend. Not a whole lot, but we did the water pump, and what I did here was tap these two lines, water pump outlet or heater outlets that came out, and I actually shaved off some of this housing to give me more clearance, and then I shaved off a little bit of this arm right here, and it worked out good. Fits. And I drilled and tapped for a 1/2-inch hole on this top side, and then on the bottom I drilled yeah, right there. I drilled that one I think that was the 1/2-inch. The other one, yeah, that's a 1/2-inch. Tapped and drilled and tapped it and screwed it in, and it doesn't, I just barely got the threads up through it. And then on the top side it was a 3/8 and drilled and tapped and started it in, and that worked out pretty good. So basically we made the truck water pump work with this thing, and luckily my hood is high enough that I can run the hose up and back over to the other side. Now I did get these little brackets here. I didn't really like the stamped metal ones, so I went ahead and got some little aluminum ones to make it look a little bit better. I'm going to take and cut this off right here, move this back, and same with this one. I'm going to move it down to here so it's not sticking so far up. They don't hit right now, but I'm just trying to clean up a little bit of stuff. And on the alternator, what I ended up finding out was just enough up here on the 140 amp alternator was hitting just a little bit. Probably it would leave the hood up about that much on the back side, so I knew it wasn't hitting a lot. And this is a 105 amp alternator out of a 99 to 2003 LS1 Firebird or Trans Am or Camaro, and it is quite a bit smaller than 140 amp, so it clears perfect. So we're just going to leave this alone and run it the way it sets now. And I will, when I get home, I'm going to add in what we did to my kid's Corvette, because he does not have this same hood. He's got the original hood, and there was no clearance for anything. So I'll show you what we did on this bracket here, and kind of on the intake, the differences between just having another 1.5 inches on your hood, how much different you have to change it. So I'll get back with you and show it here in a second. And this is with the hood closed. So I mean, we're good, it's flush. And this is the way the car is setting. Since we got the motor in it, we're setting a lot lower than we were. Not as low as I would like. I actually want to bring the front down maybe another 1.5 inches. Bring this front scoop down. I mean, you can see it's fairly high right now. It needs to come down another 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. Anyway, that's where we're at on the car right now, and let me show you the other Corvette that we're doing for my kid. The differences on the hood and what you have to change. Alright guys, I'm at the house now, and I was going to show you the kid's car, and here is what we got on his. This alternator would have been setting from this little spot right there over to here would have been kind of across this way, and alternator was set up high. So what we did was took the bracket, you got this one, that next bolt hole down, and then the other bolt hole down, and we just took and cut the bracket all the way across, got rid of the upper piece, and moved the alternator over, rotated it down. And on the front, I don't know if I can get a good picture of it, I made that bracket that comes across here up to the alternator and just lowered it down to where it wouldn't hit the hood. Now we also, on the back side of the bracket, you know, you kind of had to shave off some of the back side of this bracket to get it to clear, and then we had to put a LS1 intake on it because this throttle body with the truck intake was setting quite a bit higher and it hit the hood. So alternator was hitting, throttle body was hitting. We had to switch out the fuel rail because your truck intake fuel rail is a lot different. It comes way up and high to go over that. So we got the LS1 fuel rail to go in it. And let me see, this hood is the original hood for it. So I mean, it really doesn't come up very high in the middle, and especially back here it's just flush all the way across on that upside. And on his water pump, we put an LS1 water pump, same year as the alternator I put on my car, which would have been like 99 to 03. And you have to put these spacers in there to get them, or to get the pulley to line up. You have to get this tensioner pulley moved out to line up with the truck accessories, which by doing that moved these outlets out farther away from this control arm. And we actually had to raise his motor like a 1/4 inch on the mounts just to get these to clear this bar for the water pump. And we put 45s in there. And other than that, his is pretty much same setup as mine. That's what I already cut his and moved it down. I haven't moved this one down yet. It's loose right now. I gotta cut it back here and cut this piece and move it down. So I'm kind of working on this one. I'm working on mine. His body lines are a lot tighter than mine. His paint looks rough. He needs to sand it all down and we're gonna paint it, but as far as the body goes and everything, this one's a solid car. He got the one piece top up here, and his interior, he's already got new recovered seats in his. That's why we're keeping them covered, but his seats look really good. But we keep them covered until we start getting it on the road, which it could be on the road right now, but a few minor things that we're still working out on it, details and stuff. So anyway, that is it for this video, and if you guys would like and subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later.